Hi, welcome to Quick Business Tips. I'm Jennifer Swineford, founder of Limitless Impact Agency, and this is the podcast for service-based business owners who want to grow their business without losing the heart behind it. Every week, I'm bringing you real practical strategies on marketing, sales, and customer experience. No fluff, no hustle culture nonsense, just what works. So let's get into it. You've probably bought a program before, maybe more than one. There were modules to work through, maybe a workbook, a framework with a name, or a cute acronym. And you did the homework, you showed up on the calls, you followed every step exactly the way it was laid out. And somehow at the end of the program, you really weren't that much closer to where you wanted to be than when you started. Here's the thing nobody tells you when you buy a program. It wasn't built for you. It was built for everybody. Maybe 1,000 people bought the exact same thing you did. Same modules, same worksheets, same promise on the sales page. And maybe it got a little bit customized around the edges as you worked through the workbook. And everyone hoped that was enough. Here's something that's super important. This isn't about blaming yourself for buying it. And this isn't about making programs the bad guy. Most of these programs are marketed so well. And some of them, the best ones, are built by people who mean well. The problem isn't usually a bad intent. The problem is logic. So today I want to talk about the difference between a program and a plan, because that difference is the reason so many smart, capable people feel like they did everything right and really didn't get anywhere. But the first thing we need to do is define what a program is. A program is something that was built once and sold to a whole bunch of people. Again, this does not automatically make it a bad thing. There are tons of programs out there that teach real useful skills. But the business model itself only works if the program that was built applies broadly to enough people. So by design, it can't be built around any one person specifically. This is impossible. It's not a flaw in the program or in the person that's bought it. It's just the structure of how things work. Now, I look at programs for a lot of my clients, and one of the ones I was looking at for a realtor promised a new seller lead every single month, guaranteed. All you have to do is follow their program and make these YouTube videos. Here's the problem with that program. The formula doesn't know your market, doesn't know if you live in a rural area or a dense suburb, doesn't know if you're going after first-time buyers or luxury listings. It doesn't know if you're comfortable in front of the camera or if the idea of being on video makes your stomach turn in circles. It just knows one thing: post consistently, follow the script, and leads will come in. Now, for some people in some markets, doing the exact right thing at the exact right time, that formula works. But for a lot of people, it just means they make a lot of awkward videos and really have a general sense of dread every time they try to show up on YouTube. And when it's all over, they still don't have any new listings. But here's the real problem. This is what bothers me. When the program doesn't work, the program doesn't take the blame. If you complain, what you will likely hear is you didn't post consistently enough, or you need to trust the process longer. So now the person who bought the program is out the money, and they're carrying around this idea that they failed at something, but it was never built to work for them in the first place. Now, Here's why this is costing you. I was talking to another coach a while back who spent $10,000 on a program. Now, it's not a small number to most people. It's a real investment. She made it in good faith because she believed that it would change something for her business. What she was promised was deep personal coaching, unlimited one-on-one time with the trainer whenever she needed it. She wasn't buying the workbook or the modules. She was buying the promise of a relationship with someone who would help her work through her specific situation. But what she got was a login to a video library. And when she tried to book time with a trainer, there was never an opening on the calendar. Week after week, she'd log in, she'd look for a spot, and she wouldn't find anything available. So eventually she stopped trying. But she wasn't lazy. She wasn't unteachable. She did everything she was told to do. She watched every video, showed up for every group coaching. She took notes, but she was still confused about her next step. And she was at the $10,000. And now she was wondering if the problem was her. The good news is it wasn't, and it never is. When someone follows a program as instructed and still doesn't get the result, it's not a discipline problem. It's a fit problem. The program was likely never built to know that person specifically, who it couldn't help them with their unique problems. And no amount of following generic steps is going to change that. But this is what bothers me the most about the whole coaching, training industry. It's not just that people are out the money. My thing that really bugs me is that people start to lose trust in themselves. They start to think that the issue is their own effort, their own intelligence, their own ability. When really, the program they bought was never designed for them in the first place. So let's talk about what makes a plan different. A plan starts with you, not a set template. So before I ever tell a client what to do, when I'm coaching them, I need to know what's happening in their business, not what's happening in general, not what's happening to most businesses similar to theirs. I need to know what's happening in their business specifically right this moment. And that's why I built the momentum wheel session the way I did. It's not a sales pitch disguised as a diagnostic. It's a look at 8 areas in your business that start with general awareness and goes all the way through the sales process to referrals. And we're able to see exactly where things are breaking down before we start creating a solution. Sometimes the answer really is that you're just not putting enough content out there. And in that case, a content strategy is the perfect fit. But sometimes it's not content. Sometimes you're lacking a follow-up sequence and you haven't talked to some of your leads for 6 months. Sometimes it's the way clients get treated after the sales close, which is nobody's fault, but it's usually nobody's fault because it's nobody's job. Everyone else is too busy chasing the next lead to notice the ones that just are feeling like a transaction instead of a relationship. And when you get a plan, it's going to look completely different from one client to the next because it's supposed to. If 2 people's plans look identical, one of them didn't get a plan. They got a program and somebody put their name on the cover of it. So let's talk about the difference before you buy. Here are a few questions I would recommend asking before you invest in anything, whether it's coaching, a course, or a done-for-you service. First, did they ask you real questions about your business before telling you what to do? And I'm not talking about the surface level intake questions, but real questions, the kind that show that they're trying to understand your situation, not just tell you what to do. Second question is, Is the process the same no matter who signs up? Because if everyone's paying the same amount for the same modules delivered in the same order, that's a program. So it's not a custom plan. Third question, would this look identical for you and for the next 10 people who joined right after you? If the answer is yes, you're paying for a plan or a template and then just put your name on the cover. Now, again, programs are not evil. There are lots of them that deliver real value if the right person buys it. The problem I have is a lot of people are buying plans or buying programs right now, but they're expecting a plan level outcome. Because a program just isn't able to save or grow a business that it was never built for. And it doesn't matter how well you follow someone else's steps, it's not going to fix a business that program was never intended to fix in the first place. So, if you're looking at investing in something right now for your business, whether it's a program, a course, a coach, and you're not sure if it's a plan or a well-packaged template and you just like another set of eyes, send me the sales page and I'll tell you what I see. But if things are a little more complicated than that, maybe you're not looking. Maybe you've lost trust in all coaches and all programs, but you still want to know what to do next to grow your business, to become more fulfilled in this thing that you created. Let's have a conversation. I promise it won't be a sales pitch because I've been on the other side of bad investments and I've been on the other side of, hey, I'd love to know more about your business calls that turn into 100% sales pitch. And that's not what I do here. So if you'd like to schedule some time with me, use the link in the show notes below or go to limitlessimpactagency.com and schedule a free session. If something landed for you today, I would be so appreciative if you'd share this episode with one person in your world who needs to hear it, because that's how this show will grow. And I am so grateful for every single share that is made. If you're ready to take what you learned today and put it into work to grow your business, I would absolutely love to talk to you. You can use the link in the show notes or visit limitlessimpactagency.com to schedule your free strategy session. We'll figure out exactly where you need to focus first. But until next week, go do something amazing.